The first challenge I would like to talk to you about is the challenge about having a single entry point for all our APIs. So why this is actually important? All our APIs, as we agreed, they are geo-distributed. And the reason for that is because we want to provide the best experience for the end users, and we want those redirects to perform as fast as possible. That is why we want basically those nodes who will be responsible for the redirects to be hosted physically in the same countries as we have our users. And because of that, we also remember our constraint that we need to encode the redirect URL and print it basically on our package as a part of the manufacturing process. That basically means that we need to have that single entry point because we don't know from which country that QR code will be scanned and from which country that redirect needs to happen. If we're working in Azure, we have basically a few options here. The first one is the traffic manager, and the traffic manager works on a DNS level. It basically means that you will have your domain name, and the internet basically works in a way that you cannot go to the domain name directly. You always need to resolve it to the particular IP address, and the traffic manager in Azure will actually help you to resolve the IP address of the closest host to you. And then the next option is to use the Azure front door. The Azure front door may look the same, but it actually works in a totally different manner. The Azure front door will intercept your session, so basically your request will hit the closest front door node, and from that node the front door will terminate your session, and it will use the Microsoft private network because, again, in our case, our backend pool is also hosted in Azure. So it will use the Microsoft private network to basically call that node and get back the response and then return it to you, to the end user. What is also worth mentioning here is that basically you configure your traffic manager and the front door in different matters. So when you configure your traffic manager, you can choose any of those profiles. You can configure it based on the performance, weights, priorities, and stuff like that. But you can choose only one of those. When you're working with the front door, it actually uses all the profiles simultaneously. This is not the only difference between those two services. Actually, as I was saying before, they are totally different. That is why I want to show you how you can use both of them and what are the pros, what are the cons of each of those.